that came with Northern Ireland. That was a little bit spicy, wasn't it?
I mean, we all saw the socials. To be honest, I don't know where it came from or what really happened, but I think as a team, you know, we kind of made a little bit of a statement as to say that, look, we can play.
Welcome along to the Tungsten Talk here at the MODUS Super Series, where we delve into the lives and careers of some of the players that play here at the MODUS Super Series. Happy to say that today we're joined by South African star Cameron Carolissen, who's alongside myself and Scott Mitchell here in the studio. First of all, Cameron, this is your first week here at the Super Series. What's your impressions of the setup here at the Live Lounge?
I'm loving every bit of it. First time here, debutant. Yesterday was the first day, so I kind of just took everything in, the stage, the back room, even the city of Portsmouth as well. Getting here was a bit different to me compared to what I'm used to being up here in the UK, but loving every minute of it thus far.
We want to talk a little bit about your darting journey and kind of how we've got from A to here being in Portsmouth and the MODUS Super Series. Where did darts begin for yourself? And how accessible was darts for yourself when you were younger?
I was a 6-year-old kid. My dad had been playing darts as well as my other family members as well. It was kind of a monkey see, monkey do type thing. Being up with my cousins and other friends as well. And then we just grabbed the dartboard. They put a dartboard at our height and, you know, we were just going at it. And then I think up until the age of 12, they kind of saw the potential in me. We had a club back home. It was a family club and they needed a player to fill in the spot and I was given the shot. And I think from that point, the rest is history. And I mean, I was 12 years old at the time, and 17 years later, yeah, I am today.
So it started from those small acorns, but how do things then develop a little bit more? Where do you then take that next opportunity? Where's that next step for, at the time, for players in South Africa to really try and enhance their arm at the professional side of the sport?
I think at this point, honestly, you have guys who love the amateur circuit of our sport back home in South Africa. Unfortunately, it's a pick and choose type thing back home, so that's just something that we got to iron out there. But not to ponder on that much. I think what the guys need is to really understand what they want to achieve in the sport and take their growth and their own abilities into their own hand in terms of practicing, succeeding, all those type of things. That's exactly what I did. I broke away from the amateur circuit. I felt the system itself defeated me as a player because I thought, you know, I wanted more out of the sport. And then Devin Peterson came along with the African Darts Group, creating all these opportunities and platform for players like myself, as well as a couple of boys back home. And the rest is history. And if you look at where the African Darts Group is, I think they're heading into the right direction.
It's such an untapped market. Look, we've seen obviously what Devin's done, what Cameron's done at the World Championship, and obviously Simon Adams here at the Super Series in the past. There's a region with, well, a billion population on the planet, which has not really been tapped into properly yet.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that what Cameron's saying here, it's a market that, one, is untapped and it's very much growing with the likes of Devon and yourself coming through and seeing where those players can actually go. And they would have played you guys, and the more that they get to play you guys back out there and compare themselves to you, that's only going to grow the market even bigger. And when they realise that you're travelling and doing as you're doing, they're going to want a piece of it as well.
You mentioned Devon. How important has he been and the stuff he's done in terms of the growth of sport in Africa, or of the sport in Africa, shall I say?
I'd say it's a massive impact, not just to myself, but for the organisation as well as the other players as well. I think with Devon's experience, he's one of the perfect guys to learn from. He's been there, he's played high-level games as well. I mean, remember that form when he was back in 2020 during the COVID time. So I feel Devon had a fair share of experience in every aspect that this game has to offer, from an administrative perspective, punditry, a dart player as well. And I don't see why people would not want to learn from that. And what he's doing is just giving back to the sport. As I've mentioned, I've chose to ride this wave and go on this journey, to follow it and join the African Darts Group, because I feel like he's done it. He's willing to give back. I'm going to take my opportunity, and I'm just going to, you know, grab it with both hands.
And is that an important thing, not just for you, but for players all across Africa, seeing that somebody's done that, somebody's taken, and look, it was a massive risk for Devon to come over to the UK and play, and he made it work out. The fact that you've seen somebody do that and be successful, does that inspire everybody else to kind of follow a similar journey? Because you know it can be done, because it has been done.
100%, and it's obviously something that we have to think about a lot, especially for us back home, not just in South Africa, but Africa as well. The transition is big for us. It's a total different lifestyle. Devon has done it. I think the best thing we can do is just ask him questions, just basically follow the route that he has taken, and obviously with his guidance, I'm sure that we can make it a potential success.
Where do you say the game is at in Africa right now? Where would you say that the state of play is?
I think that on the platforms that we have, we got a good couple of boys back home. I think that we're ranging anywhere between 75 to 85, right about there. There's still a lot of room for improvement, I'll be honest, in that aspect. However, we do got a couple of guys who can hit the 90s, the 95, some of them hitting just a shy of 100. And I think it's all about the platform and also the caliber you're going up against. I think if I look at my game against Wessel Nijmegen in the World Championship as an example, if the boys are going week in, week out against that, the talent of Africa will be there. Unfortunately, the level is not as high as what it is in the rest of the world. Sometimes mentally it is a bit hard for us to stay on that level because we know what we're kind of going up against. So, like I said in the beginning, once they focus on their own self-growth and take their career into their own hands, the game will improve, and it will just be a win for everyone and for the organization as well.
And I suppose that's the important thing, isn't it? Just everybody buying in and tapping into it, isn't it, Scott?
Absolutely, and everybody wanting to be the best themselves that they can be. In the UK, we find it very easy to go and find games during the week, locally or whatever. For these guys, it's a bigger dedication than people give credit for. When we look at how Dev has travelled and was the pioneer of coming over, he must have been taking massive risks financially to take the risk to come. And it's taking that chance and believing in yourself. But for some, it's a lot easier to do than others. And I should imagine from South Africa, it's very, very difficult to find the backing to try and help you financially to get where you need to go, no matter what your ability is. And so as the sport grows, then the people that are backing the best guys in the sport will grow and get behind them, and we'll see more of them, hopefully.
We've kind of spoken a little bit about Devon, but I want to bring it back to yourself. Would possibly going professional, would maybe taking it seriously be something you'd love to do some point down the line, or are you kind of happy with the balance that you got now? 100%.
I think at this point I'm winging it at the moment. So I'm grabbing the opportunities of every qualifying tournament that I can. I think it's just more feathers in my cap to gain more exposure, more experience as well as throw my name out there. I am planning on giving Q School a shot in 2026. If I get the tour card, then I think it's a job well done for me. If not, worst case, I'm looking at doing the challenge tours next year. So I'm in the development stages of my career. So going to Q School, if I do get a tour card, I'll be happy. If I don't, I won't be disappointed, because like I said, I'm on this development journey just to get better and better every single time. So yeah, that's where I'm headed. And I think like right now, coming from a World Championship, World Cup, MODUS Super Series, got a couple of qualifiers as well. So I'm hoping to go back to the Worlds, and then just basically, as well as the ADC Championship that's coming up as well. Mm-hmm. So there's lots to play for. And I'm just hoping to ride this wave of opportunities that's coming and just stick with it, going into Q School, and then whatever happens there, I'll take it from there.
So obviously you mentioned Q School, regardless, you're going to play tournaments next year, whether they be the Pro Tour, Challenge Tour. How are you going to try and work out that balance? Is that a conversation that you've had yet in terms of maybe flying from South Africa back all the time, or maybe spending bits of time in the UK and then flying back home? How are you going to, have you thought about working out that balance?
there has been talks with a couple of guys willing to assist and that type of thing. I think for the first 6 months, I'm probably going to have to see what's going to be best for me. Honestly, I got a family back home. I'll try my best, if I can manage it, to fly from South Africa up into the UK. As an example, probably be like maybe 2 to 3 weeks, go back home for a couple of weeks and come back again. I know it's going to be tiring, but if the opportunity is there as well financially to keep in the UK, I'll have to look at that option as well. But then again, I also got to have to be considerate about my family back home, because the transition would not just be big for me, but for them as well. But like I said, giving Q School a shot, I'll take it there, and then yeah, let's see what the task has in store for me.
And the family of the forgotten people and all this, obviously you were travelling the circuit, travelling around Europe, still had a family back at home, and it's a difficult act to juggle, isn't it?
It's a very difficult act to juggle, especially when you're trying to work as well and play the darts, because you've still got to have that financial support for your family back home and the stability. So you have to kind of work it in around what you're doing as a day-to-day job. And there is a point where it comes to a tipping point where it becomes really, really difficult to still pay the bills back home, but allow yourself to be able to take the risk to be able to come and try and do the darts. And again, if you don't have your family support, you know, you're absolutely stuffed. You need your family behind you, because there are times when you're not feeling it and it's not going well and you want to take a step backwards, and you need your wife, your kids, your family to get behind you and push you back forward and go, no, we haven't come this far to give up now. You've got to keep going. And sometimes the family are the ones that believe in you when you're not.
Let's talk about some of the successes then that you've had so far in your career. We'll begin with the couple of appearances at the Alexandra Palace of the World Championship. We'll talk about the first one, because that was in the COVID year, and the first game, I mean, you had a win under your belt, but it wasn't a win because it was a walk. Just talk us through kind of what happened that day.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that always, come back to haunt me, because I never really got to play the first round, but I got through because I think Martijn Kleermaker at the time was tested positive for COVID-19. Look, they reached out to another player. He wasn't available as well because his missus had COVID as well. So I got through to round 2. I thought, you know what, I'm going to make the best of it. I had the support of Devon as well, just telling me to forget about it and just focus on this game at hand. At the time, I was a bit of a younger player than what I am now. I gave it my all against Danny Noppert. I felt I had my chances there, especially knowing the caliber that Danny Noppert can play, but he didn't play his best against me. I feel maybe he was unsure what he was going up against. So, like I said, I had my chances. Unfortunately, he gassed me out in the latter stage of the game. But I feel that first World Championship was a great experience for me.
And then you'd have to wait a couple of years for it to happen again. I want to talk about the qualifier, because Peter Wachuri blew up on the internet, but you were the one that would go on to win it. First of all, what is it like playing darts with a load of vuvuzelas in the background?
To be honest, it's just vibes, It doesn't get to me. If it's good for the crowd and the entertainment, then why not? It's like playing on the Ali Pali stage, or any stage in particular, where the crowd is just roaring and going crazy. But I think that's just an African thing, and I think that's our signature thing that we've showed the world. If you come to Africa, this is what you're going to get. And I'd say, kudos to Peter Wachuri. Like you said, he made a massive impact, not just within his country, but the rest of the world as well. And that final up in Kenya was the start of his great journey.
Were you amazed by how much that game blew up on the internet?
It was massive. I think in that last leg decider, he had a 154 left. Mm-hmm. I told Devon at the time, if we had to close the double 17 on the last shot, I think that would have been the end of me. Because I've put so much hard work just to wanting to win that final, get back to the world, so that my career can kind of ignite again, and just have a bit of a oomph. And when I saw that 60-60 win in double 17, I was like, I can't go out like this. And when he missed, I couldn't believe it. And it was like my heart was standing still, and it's almost like I prayed to the darting gods just to be like, just please go in and win in. And it was such a huge sign of relief for me.
Then you get to the Worlds, and then Wessel, and you pushed him all the way, and you pushed him all the way. That was a proper ding-dong, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely a game to remember. And Funny story, they asked me back home, if you had to choose a player not to go up against in the first game, honestly speaking, I said Wessel Nijman, because he was the man on form, and I was like, you know what, I just wanted to settle in and, you know, like kind of don't give me hard work, that type of thing. And I looked at the draw and I got Wessel, and I was like, just silence. It took me a week. I was watching all Wessel's games and just grasping that in and like, okay, cool, this is the play he's in. And then afterwards I was like, you know what, he can play, I can play, it doesn't really matter. And with him going into the World Championship as like the 6th or 7th favourite, I was like, this is perfect for me. And then just waking up that morning with a smile on my face as if to say, you know, the world doesn't know what's coming. And I just held on to that, and I went out and strut my stuff. And like I said, I gave it my all, and I think it became one of the most memorable games in my career. And yeah, it's definitely something that I'm forever grateful for.
Done some great things on an individual basis, but also played in a couple of World Cups, played the last few years. What's it like to put the South African jersey on?
It's massive, you know. We're seen as the Rainbow Nation, so we play with a lot of pride and courage and that type of thing. We represent a massive nation, so it's quite big. You know, I'm happy and honoured to have represented my country on 2 occasions. And I think also this year was kind of big for me as well, because I got to play with Devin Peterson, so I kind of got that experience. I've experienced more exposure as well, which was good. For my self-growth, that type of thing, but yeah, big.
Then obviously this year the game, obviously with Dev, you got through the group, and then that game with Northern Ireland, that was a little bit spicy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot of heat on that stage. I mean, we all saw the socials. To be honest, I don't know where it came from or what really happened, but there was definitely heat, you know, and like I said, we just went out there, we gave it our all. I think we were a bit unlucky on the doubles as well. From an average perspective, we were right up there with Team Ireland. But at the end, you know, we lost to the eventful champions. And I think as a team, you know, we kind of made a little bit of a statement as to say that, look, we can play. We do got boys back home that can produce the goods. And I think at the time that was enough for us as Team SA, just to show the world that, look, we're getting better. And we are here, and we can't just wait. We can't wait for the next one.
We've seen from our experiences here at the Super Series, we've got a number of players coming through the ADG qualifier system and really pushing. Obviously, Peter got to a final. We've seen some good stuff from Cameron this week. The players that are coming over and qualifying, not just are they turning up here, but they're turning up here and making an impact, importantly.
And that's really important for the sport back home, that you do come here and that you don't get overwhelmed by it all. I think there's a bigger responsibility on the players that come from there. There's a bigger weight on their shoulders, but what I love about it is they never ever see it as a weight on their shoulders. You all come over and feel proud to be representing your countries, your areas, and that makes you go and play with another pride. And you come here and you get dragged along by the standard here because you're capable of doing the standard. That's why they compete. It's not because they're behind. Okay, yeah, maybe not the standard back home, but when you get chucked into the mix with the standard, you run with it. And whether it's you get dragged along, whether the adrenaline pushes you along, but whatever it is, you all come here and compete. And that's absolutely paramount importance for the growth back home as well.
Just right, we've spoken about obviously Q School and things like that at the beginning of 2026, but what's the goals for the rest of 2025 for you?
At this point right now, so I got the MODUS this week. I'm hoping to qualify for Champions Week if I'm fortunate enough. End of August, then I'm up in Botswana playing the African Continental Tour, which is an important event in my career. If I happen to win it and get enough ranking points, then I'll be the #1 seed again and qualify for the 2026 World Cup team. Then we got the qualifier up in Kenya again, September, for the World Championship qualifier, and then it's the ADC Championship qualifier as well. So there's quite a few on the table for me. I'm just hoping to take every opportunity as I can, as mentioned, and yeah, the more the better.
Well, Cameron, great to chat with you. Thank you. Thank you, Scott, as well. Thank you for watching the latest edition of the Tungsten Talk here at the MODUS Super Series.